And we're live. Thanks for coming along, man.
We're good.
I'm surprised you made it after the weekend you've probably had. Sorry, man.
The past month's been absolutely crazy, especially for the gym. March has just been nuts. And we've still got some guys tomorrow fighting, so hopefully it's been good months.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can finish them.
Well, for people that don't know, obviously the UFC was on at the weekend in London, and one of your fighters from your gym, Paul Craig, the verge, was fighting and pulled off a miraculous, win. It was honestly, it was amazing. It was like a movie to watch.
It was nuts. Just being there though, like the last 10 seconds, like we're in the corner just screaming. We know you'd lost every round. He's losing the fight.
Yeah.
But fair play to us, we kept it going all the way to the end when a lot of people I think had accepted the fight. I know a few of my friends were watching it and saying the last 10 seconds were watching it was pretty grim because they were accepting it, but yeah, just threw it up and like 1 second to go or 30 seconds to go to save your career, get a win bonus, get a new contract.
Everything. That win and that time just meant everything, I guess, for you guys and him as well.
It's fairy tale stuff, but it couldn't have happened to a better person. Obviously I'm quite close to Paul and he deserves it.
He always comes across well
that guy was good, man. That guy's legit. He's in a tough division, big animals, killers. So I'm happy for him. Two bonuses. You know what I mean?
And he got signed for another four fights, which is brilliant.
So time to improve. We've got to. Everybody needs to improve everywhere. Know what I mean? So
that guy was like some of the punches he was throwing was crazy. You could hear it over the
I think he was highly touted, especially by Fedor and stuff like that. So very decorated. So.
And Paul, he showed true grit. Yeah. Like he just hung in there till the very end and got it.
A lot of people questioned him, like, has he really got the fight in him as well? So
what?
I think that was just perfect to answer that, but
there's no questioning after that.
Jiu-jitsu. That's what jiu-jitsu is all about, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the true warrior spirit. Yeah. He definitely just hung in there and threw that up. When he didn't have to, he could have just gave up right there and then. But he actually went on with it and actually won, in the last 10 seconds. Did he not have a record as well?
He said it's the latest finish in a 3-round fight, but 3 fights later, Leon Edwards done the exact same, 4:59. But I think Paul's is just like ahead of him. But it's
he did it first. So.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson's got it in a 5-round fight. Right. He got it right at the end of the 5th round. So it was.
That's brilliant.
That was just. It was. I can't really explain it. It was just euphoria. Like I ended up in the cage. Like I was trying to get in the cage door, and they wouldn't let us in. I just went right over the top of the cage, and I was just like, I seen on the TV. So fucking happy for him. It was just.
That's brilliant.
He thought I was a Russian. And I was like, I can actually see him like, who the fuck is this guy?
I think there's a picture of you on his back, and he's basically looking at you as if to say, "What the fuck?" He
thought it was one of the Russians, or so. Yeah, he just collapsed. He went through a 15-minute fight and there was my fat ass jump on him. He just collapsed. So it was like, that's one of the best feelings in my life, easily. Yeah, easily. Man.
He took a lot like not a lot, but he took some good shots as well, and he just never backed up as well, and he continued to push. Even though he was getting put back.
Yeah, which people say that if his last fights he's not got a chin as well, and he took some hard shots and. Fair play to him, he kept coming.
I think it's a match made in heaven to prove to people that that he's done it, and he's won his more fights as well with that fight as well. It's brilliant. Totally. What was going on like in between rounds? Were you sort of like, what could you say to someone that was maybe?
We were just telling me like basically like his right hand go. Yeah. He's got good power on his right hand and his body kicks, right body kick especially against a southpaw. He hurt him in the first round. He was trying to cover up a bit. So we're just telling him more of that, move more, just more of the same. Obviously we knew we needed a finish. It's probably got to come with a submission, so we needed to get him down. He got 2 really good takedowns, but wee simple mistakes that he knows himself he made. And he was in the bottom again, so there's just stuff to work on for us all. So,
but you always take something away.
But over the moon, mate.
And obviously you've been sort of doing corner for a lot of maybe 3 or 4 UFC fights now.
Two.
So
just the last two.
Right, okay.
I've not been in America yet, so I need to get my visa sorted now that we've got another 4 fights.
Is that why you've not been across?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I had a fight as well. Like the twice he fought in Sacramento and Vegas, I was fighting in ACB. So I was in Manchester and then Dublin, and I'm not going to jump to Vegas and come back a few days. I'd just fuck myself up. But
the travels, alone.
So now I'm getting my visa sorted. I'm assuming one of the 4 fights is at least got to be in America. Yeah. So yeah, plus for me, you never know. Like down the line, I could maybe get a call. So I need to get my visa sorted anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that you just have to get.
Yeah.
Is there not going to be a UFC Scotland quite soon as well?
I've not heard anything for this year anyway.
Right.
Liverpool's coming up, and I think they're still going to go to Dublin later in the year, so maybe Scotland's probably next year. I
think they're just saying that they've confirmed Till and Wonderboy for that.
I seen that when I was driving over. I was trying to look at my Google Maps, and I was like, Wonderboy Till, that's a good fight. That's a tough fight for Till. But
yeah, because Wonderboy's.
But it's probably what he wants to do, stand and trade. But
I think this will be his toughest test, obviously. Yeah, I mean, Wonderboy's there for a reason.
Yeah, I'd like to see him fight Gunnar.
Right.
Striker, grappler.
Yeah.
And plus I like Gunnar as well.
Have you seen the videos of him speaking Portuguese? Like, he speaks fluent, Darren Till speaks fluent Portuguese.
He stayed in Brazil for years.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, he's basically...
Because he has like a proper Scouse accent, so he's like speaking like fluent Brazilian Portuguese. It's so funny.
Yeah, I know he stayed in Brazil for years.
Right.
When his first 10 fights were in Brazil, I think.
So just to bring it back to what I was talking about, like what's it like the back end of cornering someone in the UFC? Is there anything that sort of surprised you about the whole process, or is it quite similar to all the fights, in smaller organisations?
It is like a military operation. It is. But I've fought in ACB and Bama and stuff like that. It's quite similar. Well, maybe not as Bama, but ACB is the exact same.
Yeah.
Like the fighters need to be here in this hotel. The bus takes the fighters to the venue, and they'll need to leave together, and you're not allowed to leave your dressing room, and then it's time to go, you get ushered away, and like stuff like that. But it's very high level.
Yeah.
Everything's down to a T. You need to go. You need to be here, and you need to go.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of pressure as well.
The thing I liked about London was the walk through the dressing room all the way to behind the curtain. You're under the bleachers and it's just a daunting walk.
Yeah.
And like you've already said everything you need to say to Paul, but you feel as if you still need to say it's your time.
Yeah.
But he's in his own. And I was just thinking, this is a hell of a long walk, man. And it was like,
fuck this.
And then you can hear the big screen or whatever. I was going to say Titantron. Like WWE.
Wait a minute, we'll get to that. I know you're you love a bit of wrestling, so
then they come through the speaker, like, and they just start describing this that Ankalev is the next big thing, and all these. And
wait a minute, so you hear things like that?
Yeah,
do you hear it on the on the TV?
No, you just hear it through the arena because
really?
you're behind the curtain.
Wow.
So they're saying this to the audience. And I'm just like, that's not that's the last thing that Paul wants to hear before you go out. This guy's just decorated all this. So I was just like, fuck's sake, man, shut that up. But yeah, that walk was pretty daunting.
Yeah.
But it's something I would love to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely something that would, anyone that's done MMA would want to do eventually.
Yeah.
But that is it. Like the UFC's that's the pinnacle of the sport, I guess. And it's great to sort of reach that. Obviously, Paul's, got in there. There's a few Scottish fighters now. But who was it? Robert Whiteford was the first, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, Whiteford, then Joanne.
Yeah.
Stevie, Danny, Paul. Or Stevie, Paul, Danny, it was.
And then Stephen Ray was obviously fighting that night as well. And he kind of got edged out slightly.
Yeah, we were watching it when we were warming Paul up. I thought he won the fight. I thought the other guy ran a lot, but that's his style. But I think he ran too much. I thought 2-1.
Yeah, I had the same as well. But maybe I'm being biased because I'm.
Yeah, but I will say Stevie Ray's sometimes won fights that I thought was 2-1 the other way. So it's like it comes around, know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had his good share of luck with the fight. So
he's always looked strong as well.
Yeah, he was coming into the third round. He was really strong, landed some big shots. So. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's good to see that quality of Scottish fighters coming through, though.
Yeah,
that was always a pipe dream for Scottish fighters in the early days of Scottish MMA. Like I remember the rumblings of Robert Whiteford and Stevie getting into the UFC, and it was like, wow, this is like this is it. This is Scotland actually breaking it into the UFC. Because we pretty much started out at the same time in the sort of the early Scottish MMA. I mean, I was watching your highlight reels, and there was the Saints bash, and I was doing the door for that because you were fighting in it.
Yeah, that's my first ever fight. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. I still won with like a fucking minute or something. I don't know.
And it was in a sports hall as well,
St Andrews,
and it was all lit up, and it was all these posh folks running about, and then these, at that time it was just all people who were interested in the sport, and that was it basically.
Well, I took that fight and I was only training for a few weeks. That's
really?
That's what I can say. It's just,
how did you get started?
There was a local sports centre where I stayed in Hollytown. Started doing MMA, and they were all calling it like cage fighting. So I got myself a wee pair of UFC gloves off my mate, and I went down to it, and it was basically just grappling. Put the mats out in the hall, showing some technique and grappling with my first team. It was called Team Raw.
Anything to do with the wrestling side of things?
No, it was not to do with that. Well, that's how I did really start, because when I watched wrestling, and growing up, Bret Hart was my hero, and he was more the submission side, making people tap out. So I think the grappling side of MMA attracted me to it, making people tap and stuff like that, submission side. So it started for there, and then next thing I know, I think you thought I was good at this. My submissions were alright. We didn't really do much striking or sparring, and he's like, there's a show here, we can get threes on it. And I was like, fuck it, I'll fight. And then
how long had you been training for at this point?
Weeks before I fought that full parking. And I won my triangle, and see when I walked back, the technique in my leg kick, the technique in my takedown, even the technique in my triangle was dreadful. But
I think it's just your enthusiasm though at that point that kind of fills in for the technique, I guess. And then obviously you can see it in hindsight.
I can remember just running in the cage, and I was shouting, and now I'm so calm, I smile, and that's just 8 years later, not it's madness.
8 years, I know. And that was the sort of, just as it became slightly more popular in Scotland, was 8 years ago. I mean, there was a generation just before that that was super underground, and then I think just at that time is when it was, people started to take notice of it more, who were athletes.
It was just mostly the Dinky Ninjas, for instance, they were dominating. Well, not a lot of gyms knew what it was. They had a lot of champions in Cage Wars through Paul McVeigh and stuff like that, but I loved it. But the old days, the small shows in Inverness and Dunfermline and Glasgow,
Art of Combat and all that.
They were the days, man. They were the days that made us all good fighters. But now, as people don't see all that now, they just jump right in because of a famous Irishman.
And it felt like a sense of community. It did feel like an MMA community in Scotland at that time.
Because it was always the same ones fighting in the same shows, sharing dressing rooms, and it was a good time, man.
And I've seen coaches help the other fighters from the opposing team to wrap their hands and whatnot, because they're just there by themselves, maybe. And there was nothing. When you think about it, people think it's a macho sport or whatever, but it's one of the most humbling sports you'll ever do.
Yeah, man.
And those were brilliant times, I think, and I think that's maybe missing from Scotland just now. I mean, there's
because I think a lot of big shows it's just like anything else, isn't it? Big shows come in and squeeze out the small man. Small, same way fighters go to big gyms, squeeze out small gyms and stuff like that. And I think that's where it went wrong. Well, no, went wrong, but where the small shows stopped happening, because the gyms, their good fighters went to a better gym, will just say that maybe have better opportunity and stuff like that, which it happens with everything. You know what I mean? But
it is a sort of point in your career that some fighters get to where you have to make that decision, either stay at your gym because you're a great fighter and you can make the gym great as well, or go to a higher so you can get more sparring partners. And it's
really, you should always look after number one if you're focused on being the best. That's why I left Team Raw. I had 2 fights lined up, one in Inverness and one in Glasgow against Cam Hunter. And when I went to Brian Gallagher, he started Scottish Hit Squad, and it was just jiu-jitsu and Coatbridge.
Is that the head coach?
Brian Gallagher's my head coach. So when I went to him, we were doing jiu-jitsu, I says, look, I've got 2 fights coming up, and he's been like, we would corner you. It was in Inverness. It was Battle in the Glen. I'm sure it was.
Okay.
So that was the first ever MMA fight from Scottish Hit Squad, was that fight for me. So, and it was like 20, 30 guys in the mat. My old gym was like 2. So it was like I wasn't getting the training, the grappling, and then like my first coaching that, like they showed me the basics. My first 4 fights. So I thank them. You know what I mean? But just had to move on from it.
And they would probably
Brian Garker's basically saved my life, changed my life around. So
and they would probably, your first coaches, say like you need to go on as well.
Did,
you know,
Russell did understand in that, and then some of the team Raw came to a squad with me. Unfortunately, that's what happens. But
if that happened nowadays, there'd be so much problem and troubles. But then it was just seen as like you're just trying to better yourself. And that was what it was all about in those times. It was just, you know, progressing and going up against people that are better and you can test yourself against. But I think you have to keep doing that. And, you know, obviously you've been training through SPG. Yeah,
SPG Dublin. My last 10 fights I've been going there.
Okay, so that's quite a while then.
Yeah, a few years. So I've trained, I know everybody, all the coaches, all the fighters. So it's
how is it?
Kind of like a second home now. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
The thing I like about it is like I still get taught the same stuff off Brian from John Kavanagh. It's all the same, but it's just the level of guys at my weight class. Professionals are like 20 lightweights on the mat.
Really?
Professionals.
Wow.
High level guys,
that's
Bellator,
crazy.
UFC, Bama champions and stuff like that. So I just like going over for a week or 2 weeks in my fight camp, get some good sparring, good grappling, then back home.
At what point do you go across in your fight camp?
I'm usually a few weeks out.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I go at the end, so I get my last spar is in Dublin. But it just all depends. 8-week camp I usually do, so sometimes I go at the middle or the end. So
yeah.
I vary it up.
Yeah.
But I love it.
And you've obviously seen it changing over the years, I guess. Obviously there's more people probably coming in, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I think that's through the McGregor factor.
Yeah, obviously for people.
The gym's huge.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a big car sales, like industrial estate bit. So you've got a big wrestling and grappling area, you've got another grappling area, striking area, full size boxing ring, full size UFC cage. So strength and conditioning bit, so it's got a bit of everything.
And is it sort of is it gotten bigger since obviously they've gotten more money?
Yeah, well they've moved 3 times.
Right.
They started in Crumlin, then they moved to round the corner from where they are now they're Concord's at Old Nays Road, or it is.
I guess it's just
they're probably got to get bigger.
Yeah, necessity.
Get bigger.
Yeah.
The gym's always mobbed.
Wow.
Just they're always different classes on at different mats, so it's always from 6 in the morning to 10 at night.
And what do you think they're sort of? Is there something that makes them special? Like why, or is it just because they have a? Obviously, they're learning things that everyone sort of learns, but is it just one fighter that's?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say like John was the first ever black belt and MMA fighter in Ireland.
Right.
John Kavanagh. And his mind on MMA is second to none. He's obviously he's took Conor from nothing to one of the global superstars in the world, 2-time division champion. Just fought Mayweather. I mean, so the list goes on. But no, there's a lot of talented guys and women in that gym. They just need their chance. They just need to get to that stage. But like myself, sometimes you need a wee bit of luck to get in front of the cameras and just get yourself out there. But no, they're all animals.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, all different weights as well. So no, I wouldn't say. I think obviously the gym boomed up through Conor, but without his teammates, Conor wouldn't be Conor. Yeah. Or his coaches.
Have you met him and sparred with him, or?
Yeah, I've trained with Conor a few times. I trained with him a few weeks ago actually.
Okay.
I did wrestle with him. He's a good guy. I mean, he's just like one of us, just a normal guy with a lot of money. But he worked his ass off for it, so it's quite inspirational. Like when you see his story.
Because Ireland and Scotland's quite closely tied. We're quite similar people. So when someone like that makes it from where he came from, I think he was a plumber by trade at one point, and then everyone sort of knows and feels that that could be possible for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty much unknown. He's a megastar now.
Yeah,
megastar.
Straight off the bat, you had the full nation behind him, though. You know what I mean? Like, everybody.
Full nation?
The full nation.
Oh, right.
The full
I thought it was like a gang in Ireland or something.
The full Ireland was behind him. I just think they like UFC more than see when a few Scottish guys. It's still, a lot of people don't really know what UFC is in Scotland, which is quite... Like,
I think Ireland people seem to get behind just the local boys.
Yeah.
In Scotland, there's a certain form of elitism, and they don't like seeing people succeed.
Yeah, totally.
So they don't really back them up.
A lot of negative people in Scotland, like they don't like seeing local people or Scottish people do well. No. It's weird. It's so weird. But that's not everybody, but there's definitely a lot of people at, which is weird for Scotland.
I think it's a really specific to Scotland, and even more so to the East Coast, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe the West is slightly different, but it's more family orientated, I think, down the West. Whereas the East is like, I don't know, I've always just felt like there's some form of elitism wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up playing music, and all down the East Coast, it was just complete snobbery when it came to music, you know. In the bands that we were playing with, you know, and the same with MMA, I guess. But it's a shame.
It's changing a wee bit. We're getting there.
It's a shame though, because we've got, you know, people that made it in the UFC, and we've got yourself that's obviously you're just a few steps either way going somewhere like that, you know. And is that something that you're starting to think about now with each fight? Is that like that might be a call you get from UFC? Yeah,
totally. In London Saturday, had a few vodkas, didn't I? So I was like, there's Sean Shelby there. Fuck, I'm going to talk to him. So basically I went to introduce myself, let him know who I am. And he stopped me like, I know exactly who you are, brother. So I was like, took a wee backseat at that, like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. And I thought he was going to say, you're the guy that just lobbed the cage, but he didn't.
You're barred.
So he's got to say, I've got to have a wee look at things and see what we can do and stuff like that. So I have a good night and that. So that was good to hear that they know who I'm at. So
you're on the radar, for sure. You know, there's...
I think there was a few pullouts and I offered to step in. Even in the last day, I offered to step in against a welterweight. Yeah. I was just chat at my hotel door, I'm here, I'll weigh myself now. So I think, you know, that guy's willing to do that. So, so if they keep me in mind, I honestly think we're one fight away. One good win, big win, and a big show. We've had a few offers from ACB, Cage Warriors, Bellator, stuff like that. So I think we're one away for that.
Are you thinking maybe like a big fight in one of those organisations?
Yeah, totally. I said I was going to fight on top for their belt. I gave them my word to Tam and James Lakes. So,
which is a local show in Scotland.
Yes, in Glasgow. So if they gave me that title fight against Niall Smith, he's Irish, then I would take it, because I did give him my word I would fight. But if a big show comes in, we got offered ACB in Australia, but last night. But me and my friends run a charity day where I'm from to raise suicide, and we plan it for the full year, and it's on that day.
Oh shit!
And I was just talking to Brian the night before, like, I'd like to fight in Australia, and he's like, I wouldn't. So then that got the call. So you organise a charity that raises awareness for suicide. Suicide's quite close to my group of friends. Like, my friends have lost their fathers doing that. So for Hollytown, we do like a football charity during the day and like stuff for the kids. And at night we have bands and a big raffle, like some of the best raffle prizes. Like full year we plan this. My friend Liam Fagan. So that falls in that day to Australia. But there's ACBs all throughout the year, all over the world. So they can get me on one. There's one in Nottingham that Robert Whiteford's on. I maybe got on that. So
is he still fighting?
He's main eventing ACB Nottingham in May against Caden Musa. So that'll be a good fight.
Okay. And so I think it's something that's probably going to happen. Like, you're going to get on a big promotion, obviously, you know. But it's just from watching all your fights, and I was watching them, and I was thinking that you've been in some really good fights over the years, but over the last 2 years, it seems to have just come all together for you.
Yeah.
What would you put that down to? Is it something maybe just experience and sort of confidence, or is it a mindset that's changed for you? Or
I was actually talking to my coach about that 2 days ago. Like, everything just feels right now. Like, even when I'm grappling, I feel like I'm understanding the positions a lot more and I'm more tighter. But I think it all came down to just before the Feenan fight in ACB in Manchester. Like, I lost my job, so I ended up going full time fighting. So it was focused more.
What were you doing before? Sorry,
I worked in a steelworks for,
for
years.
Wow.
And I kind of done I was no well when I was away training in Dublin.
Yeah.
Away following Celtic all the world, so who knows, you couldn't do that and get away with it, know what I mean? So apparently, but that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. So I went full time and I ended up going on like a 5-fight win streak, because I was training right, I was resting at the right times, I was motivated. When I was doing a 10-hour shift and trying to go to the gym, and it was
just doesn't
I
work.
felt like shit.
Yeah.
I was unmotivated. I didn't want to do it. I was sitting in the changing room like on my phone, and Brian's coming like come on, get your fucking ass out. I'm just like, I know, just go home. So I think it's when I lost my job, like everything just clicked.
Yeah. But you seem to have relaxed more as well in your fights. Like, is that something that you've tried to do, or is it something that's come with training more?
I don't know. Like, since I started training for ACB, the 2 fights, that's the most comfortable I've been in the cages and warming up. My weight cuts have been perfect. Yeah. And I've not been nervous since for that fight. Everything just feels right now. Like, I've 30 fights, you know what I mean? You've got to start loosening up a wee bit. But even when I'm about the cage, I feel comfortable. I mean, I've trained and sparred with some of the best fighters in the world. Yeah. So I always say that, like, it's never got to be as hard as any of this, but we're getting better every day, so that's all matter.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Obviously, when you're training, you just want to get that. I mean, to quote someone on, I think he's YouTube or Instagram, is that 1% better every day guy. You know, it's just what you have to do.
That's what we do.
And it's just an accumulation, you know. And at the end of the year, you're 1,000,000,000% better. And that's what I think. That's obviously shown in your fights now. Like, you're starting to relax and, I don't know, see things. And I think that's a big part of your game maybe now, is the mental side of it. Yeah. Not imposing your mental will, but you being as relaxed and seeing things coming.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always just trying like just be relaxed in there. If you're on the bottom, just be relaxed and use what you've been doing in the gym, stuff like that. Like, just drilled it into you. But even if you're on the bottom, if you took a bad shot, like there's a few. I don't know if you've seen my fight with Colin Fletcher. I was in a few hard spots with like chokes and stuff like that, but I've been in the positions in the gym with Paul and stuff like that. So it is about being calm, because if you rush stuff, you make it worse sometimes. Yeah. So
it's crazy how mental they say it's 90% mental MMA, you know, and it is. It's like, I think my personal experience from when I fought, I think the times I got beat, it was I think I beat myself most of the times, you know, when I fought in the cage, because I was always physically prepared. I was always well conditioned. You know,
I've in good shape, man.
I've always been like just had great sparring sessions, and then I don't know, I couldn't put it together when I fought, and I think it's a big thing is the mental side of it for people, and I don't know, you get too preoccupied. I think my idea was, if I had everything in place 100%, like conditioning and technique, then the mental side wouldn't matter when I went into the fight. But that was the thing that just let me down, you know. Yeah,
it's the same with a lot of people. I know a lot of people are absolute animals in gyms, but they just can't perform when the big lights are on and stuff like that. So it's natural. Yeah. Because really, we're not supposed to be doing this.
No. 1 billion people watching like 1-2 people fight in the ring.
Yeah,
but that's what separates the top 1% from the rest, is just being able to perform under pressure. Yeah. And that obviously is going to be a great attribute for you to go ahead in whichever direction you go in. You know, obviously something you're on the cusp of something happen. You know, and it's obvious.
It'll happen. This year it's happening.
What is your plans this year then?
So it's just, I'm away to work tomorrow in the French Alps for a few weeks. So when I come back, hopefully we'll have a fight sorted for before June, and I'm away on holiday to Thailand and Ibiza. I don't know. Yeah, but
wait a minute, you're trying to get to the UFC this year?
so fight before then, and then hopefully the end of the year, another one, September, October. So just take it from there. When I was at the UFC though, like even twice with Paul, like when I walk out, I'm just visualising me. Yeah, this is me. And I would love it. I think that's where I belong, is competing against the best, testing myself against the best. And where else do you want to do it? To be fair, I wouldn't mind signing for Bellator, because there's never been a Scottish person in Bellator. Really? They'd be the first person ever signed from Scotland.
I guess you'd have to be exceptional to get seen on the bigger stage, so UFC probably snaps up those talent. Yeah. So they probably just skip Bellator, because it was mostly an American promotion, wasn't it? It didn't really have that many events over here, so...
I think they just started to come here when it came with Bama and stuff like that. So they're doing one at the O2, and then they're doing one in Dublin, so I wouldn't mind fighting in Dublin.
Is there anyone in Bellator that you think you would... or you just don't care who you match up against?
Them. They're all shite. I don't know what it is with Bellator. I just feel like right, they have guys fighting with negative records, stuff like that. Right, in a big promotion like that, you're like, you can't come on. Yeah. But it's a show like ACB, like every fighter's a great match, like 9-0 against a 10-0 and stuff like that. Like every fight. So that's a good thing about ACB. Big arenas, but it's like 20 fights in the fight card. So.
Wow. That's crazy.
Good bonuses too. So it's like one fight after the other, and they're all great, evenly matched fights. So I love ACB. I love watching it as well, and I love competing for them.
Where are they based?
Russia.
Oh, Russia. Yeah, really?
Berkut. But
they do it across the globe,
all over the world. So the next one's Brazil, Nottingham, Italy, Australia, Russia, so stuff like that. So.
Scotland, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I fought in Scotland. I fought at the Hydro for them. Then I fought in Manchester Arena with them. And as I say, it was just exact same as UFC. Like a military operation. Everything was down to a T, and I loved it.
Do you think there's any organisations that could maybe take on the UFC, or are they just they're the big dogs?
They're the big dogs. Aye. Bellator's trying to do it with like signing the old guys and doing a Grand Prix, be like a heavyweight Grand Prix, be like 5 middleweights. But I like that. I like all them. I like Rampage, Chael. Yeah. For the elite level,
it's tough. It's tough to watch sometimes though, when you watch like Bellator with the people that used to be.
It just looks weird, doesn't it? It looks fake.
Yeah, maybe it's and fake, technically you could take more gear because you maybe not be getting tested as well, but they just look a bit sort of deflated.
I think that's why some of them maybe go there.
Yeah, maybe. Rory as well. Like he just.
Yeah, Rory's a beast, man.
I mean, he's brilliant, but that last fight, he just totally controlled that guy.
Yeah, Lima.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's a few great fighters, but
have you ever went to this? No, obviously not, because you've not got your visa. I was going to say, have you been to the States?
I've not been to the States. My dream is to travel with like 50 states,
right?
Like myself.
Okay.
That's my dream, so I'm still sticking to that. I'll do that one day.
I'm glad that you know there is 50 states. You probably researched that.
Most people at 48 or something.
Yeah, or 52. Some people.
Is it 2 up? No, so that's my dream. I'll do that one day after I retire. Or maybe doing that.
You gonna go in a camper van?
Aye, camper van. Just how good would that be? But I mean, just travel.
Route 66 and all that. Yeah, I really want to visit LA. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's because it's completely different from the UK and Scotland. You know, people go there to be famous, and no one does that in Scotland. So to go a place where everyone congregates and it's probably everyone's beautiful, you know, and it's weird, but it'd be cool just to see it, you know, in person.
I'll go to Hollywood, innit?
And I actually really like Canada. That's one of my favourite places.
Yeah, I've got family in Canada, Niagara and stuff like that, so it's a beautiful place. Still not been there though.
I've
not been there.
Have to get that visa sorted.
Chat about it at Heart Store, like, sharp shooter me.
So bringing it to wrestling, actually.
It's got to come to that there.
What have you been wrestling in Glasgow and like some of the shows down there? I know Paul's been doing it. I done
it once with Paul. I I backstabbed Paul. I gave him a low blow for hell, like China. I nearly broke him in two, man. Thank God he's got 2 wins already, because god damn.
So is it something you enjoy?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Big wrestling fan since I was a boy. I used to get suspended from high school from putting people in sharpshooters.
Yeah.
That was a pest, man. But yeah, so I'm ICW fan as well. Then they got me and Paul involved. I had to jump the barrier and like stick up for Paul, had his back, but then I just double cross.
Yeah.
And then me and Paul had a wee altercation up the ramp and chucked me off a ring post and stuff like that. It was the best thing ever.
It seems quite a professional outfit down there, like what they're doing with it. You know, it's all cameras and it's...
ICW is legit. They just got bought over by the WWE. So they're part
really?
of the WWE,
wow.
WWE network. So they kind of
like a feeder sort of.
Yeah. So yeah, it's massive.
Because
massive.
I think Scotland's always loved wrestling, like every young lad.
Have you ever been to an ICW show?
No.
I would suggest that it's just Scotland, just Scottish. I maybe don't know, I don't know if it's changed now, but the shows in the garage were mental.
Yeah.
And it's just like the first one I went to, I was like, this is fucking nuts. Just pure Scottish wrestling, like on the mic, pure Scottish.
Yeah.
Just, you would love it, and it's a great night out, always mobbed.
Yeah.
It's good. I would suggest you go, man.
Like I always loved it from when I was younger, and then I kind of forgotten about it when I got into music because I just got so involved with it. But every weekend I'd watch Raw and SmackDown, and every weekend I'd just watch that.
Is that when it was like Austin and
The Rock? Yeah, these were good years.
They were the good years.
Yeah, like it was the Attitude Era as well. Remember that?
Yeah, that was the best.
It was one of the best wrestling games as well. Do you remember that on the PS1? Man. Like WWE, SmackDown, but the Attitude one as well. That was like one of the original ones.
So you could go backstage and stuff like that. That's when it started getting good. PlayStation 1.
And there was also THQ. I think that was for was it the SNES or something?
Yep.
And you could get like trophies out the crowd and smash people over the head for that.
Fuck, that's memories, man. Memories,
Supposedly that had an MMA mode on it.
Yeah.
Like that old wrestling game, it had a Japanese shoot fighting mode, which was basically MMA. And supposedly the controls were really good for it, actually.
I don't know about that.
Because the MMA games since then have been absolute dog shit. Like, the first EA one was good before UFC bought it.
Randy Couture, was it?
I think it was it EA's MMA, the first one.
Yeah.
But when UFC kind of bought them over, it was just terrible.
Brock Lesnar and stuff like that.
Is that something you see like yourself, maybe one day being in
a computer game?
Yeah.
That'd be
That's crazy though.
Yeah,
think about it.
Mental.
I mean, that could quite easily happen.
Yeah.
Is Paul on it?
Paul's not on it.
Okay.
I think you can
make him
edit it or upload or unlock him or something. I don't know. Fuck knows. I don't play it. I'm shit at it. I've had like kind of cameras follow me about for the last couple of weeks for a small documentary. So I went to my friend Bit Kieran, so they were following us there and we played like FIFA and SmackDown, FIFA and UFC, and he fucking destroyed me at them all, man. I was
Paul?
Yeah, I was
Paul?
my friend Kieran. He destroyed me in that all, man. And it's like...
I was thinking better than I am. Like, I love gaming, but I'm just terrible.
I only play Resident Evil. Yeah. That's the only game I play.
The first one or the second one?
All of them. Every one that comes out, I'll buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore.
The new one's good. The new
really?
Resident Evil 7's good.
7. Resident Evil 7.
But it's not about zombies. It's just like they're in this crazy house with a crazy family. So it's no zombies. They're just...
Sounds like the first one.
That's good. It's really good. The graphics are better and it's more scary.
For me,
not
because
really scary, you know what I mean?
I started gaming at this time, but the second one will always like hold a place in my heart.
Like Nemesis?
Yeah.
Like,
no, the second
one.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2.
With the dogs in that.
Amazing, yeah.
Aye, that was, remember, it was just one view you had, that one. Like you open the doors and stuff. They were legit, man.
It was brilliant. And I played the first one, but when they released it, re-released it on the GameCube, and the graphics were amazing. Like.
Oh, fucking love the GameCube. I had all of them for the GameCube, honestly. I'm thinking about digging that shit out the loft, man.
Were you a Dreamcast guy as well?
No, just GameCube. Super NES, GameCube. I had a Master System. I didn't have a Sega Mega Drive.
I never had like enough money.
I was poor.
Same here.
I was poor.
Master System was your lot.
I didn't have shit. But Yeah, GameCube. My papa bought me a GameCube. That was legit one of my favourite consoles ever.
The GameCube, really?
Yeah, I loved it, man. Just because of the Resident Evil. I don't want to fucking 6 or something. Even though I bought the old ones and all.
I remember I got a PS1 for Christmas and it was chipped. My uncle went in the barras.
You have to put it upside down and stuff like that. No, that's what we used to do when it was shipped.
My uncle got it from the barras and like he got me it for Christmas and burned like I think 12 games.
Yeah, 100 games or something.
And my thumbs like by the second day was just like there was an indentation, and I was because I would just sit there because I never had a console up until that point. The PS1 was the first proper one I had.
Yeah.
Had like a shit PC obviously, but that was just I went overboard with it obviously. And the wrestling games have always been sort of fun as well.
Yeah, they're getting better though. I remember the first Raw versus SmackDown was really good. That was good. But
they're not sort of, I don't know, it's hard because it's more dynamic wrestling than it is sort of represented in the game. It's hard to capture that dynamic as well with the UFC game because it's too blocky still. It doesn't flow as much. Like
because
obviously
of the grappling side there. But when you hit a finisher in your wrestling game, you know what I mean? You lose your shit. You've saved up your wee life saying, boom, rock bottom.
The stunner.
Yeah.
Who was your guy? Either The Rock or Stone Cold?
Fuck. Well, no, Bret Hart was my guy.
All right, okay.
Right?
But he wasn't around at that point.
I know. That's because Shawn Michaels. But him and Stone Cold and Undertaker used to have great matches. But when it went to The Rock and Austin, I was an Austin guy. Austin's the fucking man. But
do you listen to his podcast?
Yeah, I do. Well, I used to when it first came out
for
like a year, but The Rock in real life right now, I love The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't like The Rock?
He's inspirational.
Yeah, his Instagram's probably one of my favourite Instagrams. But he's done well for himself.
Yeah. Now,
bad to Austin. Stone Cold, man.
So being in sort of combat sports and being fit in general.
Yeah.
Well, fitness in general, not you. I mean, fitness in
3 weeks, man. Fuck.
What do you think about him? Do you think he's on roids or not?
The Rock is 100% on roids. That guy is huge.
I don't think he is.
No,
I don't think he is.
He's definitely.
How tall is he?
I don't know. He's quite big.
He's Samoan.
Yeah,
he's thick, and he gets to like.
He doesn't sleep. He does not sleep.
Exactly.
He's clanging and banging for about 20 hours of the day, man.
If I didn't sleep and could work out all day, I'd look like that.
The Rock's definitely on roids.
No, I don't believe it. I don't think so.
I love him. I've nothing against him because he's not fighting anybody in real life. He's making movies and stuff like that, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. If he's fighting another guy in a cage, then you've got a problem. But fair play him.
Yeah, obviously that it becomes an issue when you're taking stuff when you're doing combat sports. I guess it's something that's always going to be in sport. And I think Nowitzki, the guy that's like the head of the drug and trying to find out who's taking drugs in the UFC is really good. He's doing a good job.
I think it's costing a lot of money though, isn't it? These testing they're doing but UFC's $1 billion company.
But do you know what costs them more money? Probably having someone like John Jones testing positive before a massive fight and costing them that much. Yeah. There's no way people can sort of progress in their career with taking that, and then cost them money because he's just
a fuck up, isn't he?
It's crazy.
I know.
Do you know he won?
Just one after the other. I'm not even surprised anymore with John.
He's obviously on Instagram, and I've tried to comment on it.
Yeah.
Blocks comments from people he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like even if you're following him, you can't. I didn't even know that was a function on Instagram. And obviously, because he gets so much hate, he's probably sick and tired of hearing.
But he is a bad guy.
Yeah,
John.
But he doesn't want to be.
It.
He thinks he isn't.
Yeah.
I know. That was always funny to me that your name's obviously like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Because my experience when I'd met you behind shows, you were the complete opposite. Yeah, obviously, when you get in a fight, it's different.
I got asked that last night in my documentaries, like, what is it like to be known as the nicest bad guy? So I'm just like, they're just lying to you. The people are lying to you who are saying this. But it all came about years ago. Like, there was an incident on a football park. I don't know if you can remember this, but I ended up getting in a fight in a football park when I was playing for my amateur team. And like,
I remember this. Was this not on one of the underground MMA websites on the UK?
Cage forum, yeah.
I remember this, yeah.
So basically, a young boy hit me, I hit him back off the ball, and he fell, swallowed his tongue, took a seizure. It was quite bad. He's all right now, but at the time it was tragedy, you know what I mean? But I didn't mean to do that.
No.
I was just a wee clip in the chin, accidental.
And probably would have happened if you trained or not.
Yeah.
You know.
And I wasn't really, I think I was just started amateur at the time. So for that forum, I became the bad guy, and people says, "Oh, you're a bit." At the time, like, I apologised as much as I could, and then people would just call me the bad guy. Like,
I didn't know that was you.
So I just went with it. I just fuck it, you know what I mean? I just embraced it a wee bit, because they didn't know what really happened. No. So it's in the past, but then people started to like it, and I was like, I'm gonna go with it.
Which was it? UK MMA was the website. What was
Cage
it?
Warriors.
Cage Warriors.
Forum.
That was it. Yeah, the forum.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember during the week there, because there was a music one in Scotland called the Underground, which shut down, and I was trying to think. I was confusing both of them. I was like, was there an underground sort of MMA forum for the UK at that point? But it was Cage Warriors. I remember.
Yeah, that was a thing.
But I remember when that happened. Yeah. I didn't know it was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Because that was when you first started, obviously.
Yeah. So I play amateur football as well, so that kind of happened on the park. And I think that's the last time I've ever punched through a punch outside the gym, and that was 6 years ago. So it kind of changed my life a wee bit. I matured, grew up a bit, matured through MMA basically. So
how did it sort of, did it impact you in any way to sort of see people talking about you on a forum? Yeah,
totally. That's what they weren't there. They didn't see what happened. But it's never nice. What happened was just a freak accident. But no, it's in the past now, and that's where it belongs basically. But so that's why I get called bad guy. But people are like, oh.
Did you tell that story on your documentary, by the way?
Well, yeah, I think that's the way they're going with it.
Right, okay.
This is what happened. Then I kind of changed my life a bit, and I don't know. Try to get into the UFC, stuff like that. So I think it's out in April. It's only a short thing, 15 minutes, nothing big, but.
And who's it? Is it who kind of put it in place?
Stirling University.
All right, okay.
It's their kind of a course. So they came to me.
Okay.
It's 5 of them, good people. So I was like, it was the lead up to my last fight and trying to get to UFC. Me coaching, because I coach beginners and stuff like that, and my social life and stuff like that. So I was like, aye, why not? So they've been following, but it's been quite good. So hopefully they get what they need with it. They get to pass
so it's part of their course as well. Yeah, that's brilliant.
So I think we can both win at it.
Yeah.
So
you get a free documentary.
People that were in it, I was getting my hair cut, and they were in my friends, but
they should be here, man. What's going on?
I know. Well, it just finished. The good stuff I did, they followed me about for my weight cut in the sauna, in my house, in my salt baths. So that'll be good footage to look at, a real insider of people that don't really know about weight cuts and my fat ass getting to it.
So what is your process when you do you get on a diet?
Yeah,
I hate using that word because we're all, whatever you eat is just a diet.
Yeah,
but do you
8 weeks.
Go back on 8 weeks out, and what do you generally do for when you're cutting?
My fight camp is 8 weeks, so that's 8 weeks of eating healthy.
And do you follow any specific?
No, I have a food sponsor called Taste Buds. I'm going to give my shameless plug here. Taste Buds.
Taste Buds.
Always look out for me. Give me my meals every day. All healthy meals for 8 weeks, and just water. Right, I try and stay off the Monster because I love that. But I get off chocolate and cakes, which is that's what I love the most.
Don't we all?
That's what I love the most. So
you're bulking, bro.
I stick to that, but I walk about 83 kilo, right? 83. So I get down to fight week. We just with dieting and training hard, roughly 78, 77. Then that fight week, I cut out my carbs, I water load, gradually gets down, wake up, weigh-in day. I've got 3 kilo to cut. I do it in salt baths and a sauna. Okay. So that's how I do it.
Yeah.
So it is a tough cut. The salt baths are really hard for me. But
do you what is this sort of the food that you're provided? Is it like a ketogenic diet, or is it
just meal prep? Just healthy.
Just healthy.
Rice, chicken, your veg, stuff like that.
Cool.
But whatever I wanted, he would do. But this is the stuff I like.
What monster?
Too much of that.
Just sprinkle it over your food. It's fine.
So, but like I've not really. I fought 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, and for then I've just been eating shite. Which today, when I sparred today, I went up to Stirling to help Chris Duncan prepare for his professional debut next week.
Where's he fighting?
He's fighting in England.
Okay.
But he's 10-1 amateur, like good amateur record, really solid fighter. And I felt that today. Like I've not done a 5-minute round for 4 weeks, and I've been eating shite, and I've done 5 fights with him today. And I'm just like, it switched on. Like I can't do this. If I want to get to the highest level, I need to watch what I'm doing in between fights. So that was a bit of a wake up call. Don't get me wrong, like it was a good spar back and forth. I enjoyed it, but there was times that I could feel it, my fitness, but
that's when it
wasn't really about me today, it was about him. So yeah, I need to
when you
brush that up.
When you get to your fight, or maybe the after your weigh-in, you pretty much feel like you could take on anything. And then to go from that feeling to then eating shit, and then your first sparring session's like the worst. Because your mental memory thinks you can still do it. Your body's like, fuck no. See, the thing is, it tastes shit. No, it tastes good at the time, but like half an hour later, you want to kill yourself. You know what I mean? It's just, why did I do this? And then like it goes away a wee bit, and you're reaching for chocolate. I was waking up and reaching for cookies the other day. And I'm just sitting watching the telly. I've not left my bed yet. I'm just stuff in my face. It's like, you can't do this, but don't get me wrong. I'm due a wee couple of weeks off, not me. But like yesterday I had like 3 McDonald's. So that don't be like me. But at least you're like active and doing 3 McDonald's. Most people are like, sitting on their ass and eating 3 McDonald's. I know. What does that even involve? 3 McDonald's? Like I got a McDonald's once and I'm like, fuck this. I just love the double cheeseburgers. It's just, they're so good. My teammate Andrew brought one to the gym yesterday. When I was coaching my class, and he brings me a double cheeseburger meat in the gym. Cameras are on me, and I'm just like fucking Floyd Mayweather. Like, I don't give a fuck. But I need to cut that out. Not just that cheesecake, chocolates. I need to trim it all down, man. And but I think you could swap them for things like protein bars and stuff like that. No. Because that's another thing I'm starting. 10 protein bars a day, they're worse, man. The grenade bars have got to get me in debt, man, honestly. The CMP ones are good. Have you had them? Yeah, I have had them. The cheesecake one, no, the shortcake ones. Yeah. Oh my god. They're good. They're legit as well. Deadly. It's dangerous though. Switch it up for dark chocolate. I know it's not the same, but I could do that. Jaffa cakes. I like Jaffa cakes. Do you remember a time the smaller shows in Scotland, they would always offer Jaffa cakes? And I think it was bananas maybe. And I've always held that to be like, obviously if they're offering it, it must mean it's healthy. They were the days, man. Don't get that now. My girlfriend, she's from Canada. She's Canadian, but she's from Canada. And well, I hope so. She's Canadian. She's from Canada, but she's American. Don't tell her I said that. She doesn't get the whole Jaffa cake thing. She's just like, is it a cake? Is it a biscuit? Doesn't get it. I think we've put this argument to bed a long time ago in the UK. Is it a cake goes stale and a biscuit goes hard? I don't know. Biscuit go hard. They don't go hard at my house. They're out within 10 minutes. So to kind of bring it back to your team, Scottish Head Squad.
Yeah. Best team in the country, I might add.
So what do you think's going on there? If obviously we got Paul Craig who's in the UFC, you're headed in the right direction. Why do you think that you guys have started to get it on point?
I think it's down to Brian Gallagher. I'm not just saying this, right, but the guy's mind for mixed martial arts is right up there with the best, in my opinion. The way he breaks down every single little detail, and I've seen it through John Kavanagh as well. They think they like, very alike. They go through the same details, the same positions, and I just wish I listened to him a bit quicker. Like a few years ago, I was like, I wasn't training as hard, and if I just listened into him more, now it's totally different. You know what I mean?
But that's experience and age. You know how to utilize what he's telling you now. You know. And
yeah, totally.
And what's his background?
Brian was an MMA fighter at Battlefield. He had a few fights, and he had a pro fight as well. He had boxing background, jiu-jitsu. He's a brown belt under Marcus, and then he took up the Hit Squad, his own gym, and just built it for there.
How come he decided to start his own gym?
I don't know. I think the place he was in, he just wasn't benefiting from the coach, so he moved to his own gym.
Probably felt he could do better, I guess.
100%. Don't want to start naming names or that,
but that's how anyone goes and does their own thing. They think they can add something to it.
So he stopped competing his sale just to focus on us fighters. So which was pretty big of him, because he's a good fighter himself.
I think I've seen a couple of his fights. I think he fought on Vision. Was it Vision?
He fought. Well, that's his only pro fight.
Yeah. I remember that fight actually.
It was a close fight, good fight. Yeah. But yeah, so then we were only in the Hit Squad for like it was a Thai gym, but we were renting it like a few classes 2-3 times a week. So the Thai gym was moving, and Brian's basically like, we'll take the lease, we'll stay here. We got the full gym out, mats, cages, everything, and we've been here ever since. Right. So just building, and you need to remember he's took Paul from a teacher. Just took him.
What kind of teacher? PE?
It was like a special skills force. It was like a charity work.
Right. Okay.
So Paul went about like the younger people didn't have like a good upbringing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Skill force, I think it was.
Social worker kind of thing within a school.
Yeah.
I guess
a few schools you would go with. So we took him for that, to being good at jiu-jitsu, to being a world champion at Bama, to having 2 fighting night bonus performances and night bonuses with the UFC, and going on his 8-fight contract. He's always had 4.
And that's
for Paul, for nothing. Paul was a footballer.
That's undeniably down to coaching, because
100%.
He started off with no sort of training, and you yourself obviously had a couple of fights, but then you went there and you flourished. You know,
totally. So that is down to Brian, because Paul was a footballer. Or a shite one like that. I can't remember if he was any good.
I heard you're just as shite.
I'm actually not too bad.
No, I heard you were good.
A few deflection goals in my day. A few penalty misses.
Couple of shin rollers.
A few penalty misses. But so he basically took Paul for that and made him a world champion. Got him to the highest level, fighting the best guys in the world. So that's down to Brian, and the coaches Brian brings in, and obviously as his teammates. So,
but where do you think it's just down to his mindset, or do you think how is it that he's different from other coaches, or is he similar to sort of professional coaches?
I think where a lot of coaches try and do everything themselves. Right? They try and, I'm your Thai coach, I'm your jiu-jitsu coach, I'm your MMA,
everything,
wrestling. Yeah. Brian brings in the best coaches.
Okay.
He's the head MMA coach. He's obviously very intelligent when it comes to all of them, but he brings in our boxing coach, Lawrence Murphy, former world champion, and it's not like one of these fake world champions you win in the pub. Not I mean, it's legit world champion. Stevie Houston, Thai coach, one of the best Thai coaches in Scotland. Marcus Nardini, jiu-jitsu coach, black.
Is that who's doing the BJJ?
Yeah,
with your gym?
He's always been our coach for the start for 6 years, 7 years. obviously one of the only black belts in Scotland, world European champion, blah blah. And we've got great wrestling coaches that have competed in the Commonwealth. So we're all like a close unit. We need all of them to work together. And Brian kind of moulds us all together through MMA as well. So instead of doing it all himself, he's brought in the best, and they've always been there for 6-7 years. So,
and that could be kind of seen as a sort of old school attitude in MMA now. You know, because GSP's he was the future at one point. But his style of sort of training is now sort of seen as old school, you know, like training these things individually as opposed to going to one person to learn all of the facets of MMA.
Totally.
You know, but I think for me that works better to do the individual sports. You know, I don't know about you. Well, obviously it's working. And I just think it's easier to take. These sports are great for reasons, you know, the individual sports, and then you need someone like your coach, your head coach, to sort of blend that in for you.
You need to mould it all together, because you can't stand like a Thai fighter for like wrestling reasons and stuff like that. You can't be pure flat-footed from boxing and stuff like that. So,
and that was the thing.
You kind of need to mould your own style.
Yeah.
So
that's something about your game as well that's sort of come along in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, is your striking as well. Like, what would you put that down to?
I think, my striking's not been the greatest, but the past few years it's been upped in the gym. Like, a lot of people don't see my striking because my fights hit the ground pretty quick and I finish them pretty quick, all first rounds. But if you watch the McIntosh fight or the Fletcher fight, because he went 3 rounds, I'm comfortable. It's by the first round I can start working my elbows, my knees, my kicks, punches. So the longer the fight goes, the more comfortable I'm at, the more I'm going to let my striking go. And it has come on leaps and bounds, but it's just because every fight I was in, it was quick finishes, we're hitting the deck quick. So a lot of people didn't think I had any stand up or stuff like that. So when they train me and spar me, a lot of people like, holy shit, why didn't you never use that? Why? So
was it something you purposely tried to bet, or
no? Just
it just came on?
The fights just happened the way they happened. It was like, I don't go in with a game plan ever. Like, it just, I don't want to say wing it as a professional, but you just see how they go.
Professional winger.
If it hits a mat, it hits a mat at the cages, or if we're standing, striking or wrestling, I just take it how it is. Obviously, we're going with a game plan, what we want to do, but most of the time, I just take it as it goes. So,
And have you been sort of like? Did you try to work your striking when you've been training to sort of bring it up to a decent level? Obviously, you know your striking's greatly come on in the last couple of years. Is that something that you, when you went back to the gym, you were like, I'm going to work on this, or is it just coming out now because you're comfortable?
No, definitely. It was always something that I needed to work on, but at the time I used to just use my strikes to set up my takedowns, or to close the distance, or to get it to the cage. But now, like, I know I can hurt people, so I'm using it to hurt them, so they want to take me down. So it's something I worked with my teammates more than anything. A lot more sparring with good strikers, good boxers, good Thai fighters. That's how we've done it, especially in Dublin. There's a lot of great strikers in Dublin, so you need to learn. You need to learn. Like, you need to take a few in the face. else you're never going to get better at anything. But
had you done any martial arts before you did start doing jiu-jitsu?
Never. I was a footballer, and I just went right into MMA with nothing, which I wish I did have a background, like anything, probably wrestling or
But in Scotland, that's kind of, it's hard to get a
totally.
Wrestling background. But the jiu-jitsu could have been or judo even as well. Because one of my one of my teammates from Dundee, Scott, Commonwealth judo champion, he recently won, and he'd done amazingly.
He done brilliant.
Just dominated that
domination.
Guy. Just that took that guy's will away from him. Did you see the trip in the start of the second round? It was just beautiful. The guy tried to do some sort of spinning technique, and Scott just put him on his arse. Yeah,
I've sparred with Scott a few times. He's come down to the gym. When he gets that body lock, you just feel that at judo, and he's obviously smaller, so he's under you quite quick.
He's got one of these weird.
He's relentless.
He's got one of these weird bodies where he doesn't bend at the hips. He's like a sort of washboard. Like he just has like his chest all the way down to his thighs. You know, so when he gets you in a throw, you're not getting out of it.
So I drew him a lot for my Feenan fight. Obviously, they were judo pals or whatever. So southpaw as well. So it was perfect.
Yeah, Scott's a brilliant lad as well.
What I liked about him the most was when like blocking hip, seen side control when he blocked the hip and going around, he was solid. So
he's one of these people when he gets you in crucifix.
Yeah, well, he was going for that, and the cage was. I was driving, watching it, and I was like, "I nearly crashing. Don't ever do that. Don't watch MMA fights and drive at the same time, children." But it was like
children should be driving. So
it was going elbows and that, and I was just like, "That's just a complete domination." Of a performance, so I was happy for Scott.
Because he's been so unlucky with people pulling out at fights. I mean, it's crazy.
Big stage as well, know what I mean? Like, good audience for Cage Wars and BT, Fight Pass, all that. So.
And he's taken it like seriously. You know, he came into MMA. Obviously, he'd done judo all his life, and he was a Commonwealth champion twice. And he's taken to it so well, and that's his.
I don't know about his poster pictures, man. That was like some mad photo shit he's been going to there. My ones are always like dehydrated junkie. Like, where is he getting these pictures from? He must get them mid fight camp and say, right, Keijo, this is the ones I want you to use, man. You're like blue steeled up with a wee side shed. Like,
come on, the best dressed MMA guys in the world is the guys from Dundee in Scotland.
He's a rocking it, not bad.
As a former Dundonian.
That's a bit odd though.
I'm getting old now, I don't care.
The football teams are shite.
That's something, obviously you started in football.
Yeah, just amateur football. Played like 2 games at junior level, stuff like that. But.
And you grew up, obviously, the Holy Town, is that Motherwell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What likes that?
Holytown.
Yeah.
Holytown's brilliant. I love Holytown. It's there's a few diamonds in the mud in Holytown, put it that way, especially my small group of friends. But growing up, it was just your typical small village mentality.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows everybody, but they're all stuck together. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was good growing up there. It was mostly football. Like there wasn't any combat sports, even fighters. Like, my age or younger or older, so I was kind of like the first guy to do it for Holytown. I think only guy. I don't know. So
is Scottish Hit Squad not based in Motherwell?
It's Coatbridge.
Oh, cool.
It's just up for it. But the town has they back me, like everybody I talk to, and so I get a lot of support from Holytown, so which is always good.
I've never been to Motherwell.
You know, been to FFC in Alona? In a big tent.
That's not Motherwell, is it?
That's where I stayed. That's Motherwell. M&D's, Strathway Parks in Motherwell.
Okay, I've been to Motherwell. I fought there.
Yeah, I know you have.
And not in the town, obviously. Just
That's in the big white tent at the back.
That was crazy. Someone got stabbed.
I was surprised. It's fucking Motherwell.
I think you fought.
You probably had a pair of Air Max on or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think you fought in that show. I think that was the one where there was a lot of build up, and I think
Came alone.
Yeah. That was one I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what was the lead up to that? You know, like there was a lot of back and forth, I guess.
Basically, what it was I was 3-0, but I hadn't fought. I thought Scott Mulgrew was 2-0 at the time. He'd beat me as an amateur, but the other 2 guys I should have beat. They were bums. But
even in your amateur career, you've been in good fights.
You've
fought everyone.
Yeah,
you've fought everybody.
I fought some of them twice as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, Kieran Malone he was professional MMA before I even could spell MMA. Like, work that one it. So and then he's like
MDMA.
Then he's like, but so he's like calling me out because I was getting a bit of hype. I was 3-0.
Yeah.
He was calling me out. I'm like, man, you've had about 20 pro fights, and you were fighting years before I even knew what MMA was, like pro.
And he was based in Glasgow.
Yeah. So
was he a dinky? No.
Yeah, he's a dinky ninja, but he was a high level wrestler. Well, not high level, but he was a better wrestler than I'd ever trained with or whatever. So, and he was just like wanting to fight just because I was getting a bit of hype. No, I would fight anybody,
Yeah.
anybody. But my coach wasn't wanting it. He said it's too early. You've only had 3 pro fights. He said about 20.
Is
I
this
said,
when?
no, let me fight him. I want to fucking fight him.
And
so
you were still at Scottish Hit Squad.
Scottish Hit Squad, yeah. So it was actually my fault. I pestered Brian. And Brian's like, right, you want to fight him, fight him. And Brian was probably right, but I went 3 rounds. He took me. I rushed him twice, and I got judo throw, hip throw twice.
That was the biggest thing I took from that fight is when you came forward.
Yeah,
he used that
even
against
watching
you.
that, it's like that is no me.
Yeah.
Like that was years ago.
No,
But after 3 rounds, 5 rounds with him, I was fresh as a fucking daisy, and I was like, I've like seen it now after that Sparta day. I feel like more hurt than I did with that my own fight. So that was, but out my losses, like that doesn't even annoy me because that was just that was a learning curve as well. Like don't rush in, you're a wrestler, and get a lot of emotions get to you.
Yeah, it's probably the hyper. There was a lot of hype around that fight, and I think maybe
because
you
we're
learned.
going back and forth. But see, right, if I had to fight his fat ass right now, I'd murder him, man. I
Does
would
he still
fucking
fight?
murder him. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's fighting at fucking super heavyweight. No, I think he's fighting at made for the cage. I don't dislike him or that, but that's a totally different fight now.
Because that was like one of the big grudge matches of the day, you know.
Every fight in Scotland, if it's got my name in it, everybody's interested. You know what I mean? Like I just thought.
Are you fighting less and less in Scottish shows now?
Well, I'm trying to. I love fighting at home. Yeah. For my fans, but they travel everywhere. Like I'm down the country 3-4 hours, Manchester, Birmingham, Newcastle, Sunderland, London. So I don't mind fighting in Glasgow. My last fight was in Edinburgh, so like I can sell the places out.
Was that the Headhunter show? No.
Forza. I've just fought a Brazilian. That was 3 weeks ago. So.
And you won, obviously.
Yeah, I won. I won first round knockout.
That's good.
So yeah, I don't mind travelling. But yeah, I'll fight anywhere really.
So the goal is to have a UFC fight in Scotland.
Yeah. That would be good. I wouldn't mind, like, see, because I've fought like the 3 biggest fights in Scotland. I came like me Feenan, me McIntosh, me Malone. They're all teammates. So like, I don't want to like start calling people out because I'm not in the UFC yet. But if I had to get to the UFC, like, I would like to fight Danny Henry or Stevie Ray. Yeah, you know what I mean. But
that's obviously the
Stevie Ray fight would never. Well, Danny Henry's a featherweight. But he would definitely fight me. But Stevie Ray's on his like fucking 3rd contract, so it's a fight I'm never got to get. But one of their fights in Glasgow, that would be fucking mental.
Obviously, that's the elephant in the room in Scottish MMA is you both fight at the same weight. Yeah. And you've not fought together yet, have you? And
Who?
You and Stevie.
No, we've not fought. We got on well. We trained once or twice when it used to come through with Marcos at the gym. I like him, but I'm just thinking for a Scotland, if I wasn't fighting like an English guy or something.
It'd be an interesting fight.
Yeah, totally, man. Stevie's good, he's tough as nails, but like myself. But he's, as I say, he's like 9 fights in a UFC contract. And I've got to give a guy that's not even in the UFC. So that's why I'm never asking for any fights until I get there. You know, fucking answer them.
Giving all the props to Stevie Ray for being in the UFC, but
he's a man.
His fights have not been like exceptional.
Yeah,
you know, he's had some good fights and he's had some ups and downs. I think you asking for that wouldn't be out of the question. You know, it's not like he's in title contention.
I just think he keeps every fight he's in. He needs to keep playing it safe now. Now that like all the thing with his contract,
he's got the Jose Aldo syndrome,
or whatever. And then he just lost to Felder, who's coming in, maybe had to play it safe. But that fight there, his 3rd round, he put it on that guy. He hit him with big shots. So I thought he won that fight. But the fights before that, like the Pearson and the Lozon.
Did he beat Pearson?
Yeah, he beat Pearson. They were
but
close.
It was a decision.
They were close fights. Not the best fights, but who am I to say that? He's in there fighting with the best guys in the world, so fair play to him.
But you're fighting some of the best guys
as
well.
No, I think it'd be a good fight. Yeah, but
is there anyone else in the lightweight division you probably see that you've sort of set your sights on?
Who would I like to fight? Any of them? See, any of them that was on that show in London there, I offered to fight all of them. There's a few pullouts,
Because there was a last minute sort of pull out.
That Cajun Johnson that Ray just fought and fight him and beat him.
Who ended up fighting that guy? You know how there was a pull out on the week of the UFC at lightweight? Was it lightweight?
Well, Nad Narmiani got it was the German that I wanted, that Nasrat. So we're in the dressing room. Nad, he's a featherweight as well, which I wasn't. I was like, you're not even a lightweight. So he's warming up, got the gloves on. I like his teammate Paul Reed and that, like a good team. So they're warming up. They've got the gloves on, got the tape on. They're ready to go. And Sean Shelby comes in like fucking. The fight's off, man, and like he just like crumbles. It was like I felt so bad for him. Yeah. The guy had conjunctivitis.
Wow.
It's just like, oh man, you're in the zone, you're ready to make the walk, and you get told that. They're like, don't worry.
That's the last thing you want to hear.
Like, don't worry, you'll get paid, you'll get a contract, you'll have you again. And it's just like, I don't know if I could have. I don't know how I'd have reacted to that. But he took that in 10 days' notice, whatever. So his team are like, look, you get a full camp now.
Yeah.
So it's you get paid.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
But when you're switched on, you're ready to go. Like
it's the last thing you want,
It's emotions, man.
You just want to go.
It's just a fucking crazy roller coaster.
You're
journey.
like a primed gun, and then you fire a blank, and you're just like, it's funny.
So that was the other lightweight, the German guy. I would have fought him. Too many other lightweights. Kicking about.
Obviously, there's
the Khabib guy.
I was waiting to say, obviously, there's the UFC fight card coming up where it's Khabib and Tony. What are your thoughts on that? How do you see it playing out?
I see Khabib just running through him. Maybe not finish him. Tony's tough, but I could see a 5-round mauling. Just he's so
same with Barboza.
He's so good.
Yeah,
he's top game pressure. See when he gets that inside wrist control and just you're trapped in the cage.
It's that horrible. That folk style wrestling is just crazy. Horrible. He seems to take like Maya, Askren, and who else does the folk type style? Maya, Askren, and maybe GSP does a little bit of it. He's the culmination of those three amazing grapplers, and he's like unstoppable.
Yeah, he's vicious, isn't he? Maybe like a lot of people were comparing like the Paul's fight with the Russian. That could happen, and then Tony can maybe throw up a submission. So you never know, man. Tony's sneaky. You know what I mean? He's wild, man. He's weird.
And no, he is. His condition is out of this world.
So, but he really thinks that he's got to beat Khabib, which is good.
But you have to, though. You have to. But does he truly think that? Does he really think that
this is like the third time or fourth time supposed to fight him? So
tiramisu.
So hopefully it goes through.
But Khabib, he seems more serious. He's. It's funny, like the evolution you've went through. People have done that with their fight career in the UFC. You know, like they've figured out things publicly, whereas you've done it already because you've had a few fights. Yeah. But we've seen that with Khabib in the tiramisu days. He's taken his nutrition. He's taken his nutrition very seriously now, and he trains in the US leading up to his fight. Yeah.
I heard that Khabib's never ever lost a round in the gym. I heard that. And look at his gym.
No wonder he's been so fucked. Like no wonder he's injured all the time. Like if you don't want to give up a round every round, your body's just gonna quit.
I guess start rushing mentality.
Tendinitis. He's gonna. I think he'll get tendinitis. Yeah. That'll be the thing that'll fuck him up.
So how do you? I'm going to interview you now. Who's got to win this fight?
I think. I think Stevie Ray's going to jump in and do a corkscrew pile driver. No, I think, like you say, it's going to be. I don't think Khabib's going to finish him. No, he's just gonna. It's going to be like a decision, but like it's going to be all to Khabib. Yeah. I just don't see him getting any submissions.
I think he'll hold him down quick. Tony's wild. He rolls with a lot of things.
He does. So. But Khabib can pin you down and keep you there.
Yeah. It's got to be good. It's a good card. Full card's amazing.
Because obviously this is going to be a good test for 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu versus folk style wrestling. This will be a good thing for Eddie Bravo to take if he gets beat from this, obviously he can break down what happened and maybe maneuver it slightly. But do you follow much grappling? Like, I know you like grappling.
The jiu-jitsu scene?
Yeah.
Nah, not really. I watch some Eddie Bravo,
the EBI
Invitational, or what's the other one? Polaris, is it?
Yeah.
Polaris. We'll watch it maybe if Dylan Dennis is competing.
Yeah.
Or the Submission Underground, Chael Sonnen's one.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
That's because it's mixing wrestling
Jake Shield and stuff like that. So
he's a nice guy.
I don't pure follow it, but if it's on Twitter, I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm. And it's something I've gravitated more towards when I've gotten older, is the sort of jiu-jitsu side of things. I was mostly I kind of modelled myself slightly on GSP when I started out. Like I worked off my jab. You know, I'm a southpaw, but I stand regular. Yeah. So I use my jab a lot, and then I would shoot off that. Anyone that breaks down my fight knows exactly what happens.
I remember watching it. I think it was a draw though. It was a draw. Did you draw with? Was it one of the twins?
It was a draw with the guy that does the strength and conditioning for some of the.
It's the twins. There's two of them, aren't there?
He's been on radio.
Yeah, I remember
BBC,
that fight. That was a good fight, man.
I can't remember it because
there's no footage in it, no.
No
footage, man.
Well, they said
I fought Mulgrew that fight.
Yeah, that was you fought Mulgrew, but basically they said that it had to be aired on Swedish TV before we could watch the video, because it was owned by a Swedish company, and it was bullshit. There was no video.
That was a good show though. That was like the production and stuff. That was a different level. But
it was kind of crazy though, if you think about it, because you'd fought on Saints Bash. I'd fought on I'd fought on a show in City, the nightclub in Edinburgh. That was my first amateur fight.
Cage Combat or something?
I can't remember it actually. Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment, yeah.
And my next fight, just purely by reputation and the gym that I came from, I was on, I think it was, what was it before Vision? It was SFC, yeah. I was on the last FFC card before it was Vision.
I was on both of you.
Yeah.
SFC 7, then we were on Vision 3 or some shit.
But it was in Kelvin Grove. That's huge. Yeah, that's a huge...
That's shut down, I think. That's not even opened. It's good.
But they don't have the...
I think they're doing something, not down or some shit, I don't know.
Because there was some really good boxing matches in there.
Yeah, great venue, man.
Was it Burns fought in there or something like that?
Yeah, Harrison and stuff.
Yeah, like that. That's crazy. But we were like my second, third fighting on a massive show like that.
That was good thing.
So you see that fight going towards Khabib then?
Yeah, totally.
Who else is on that card?
Rose and Joanna.
Yeah,
is that the rematch?
The second rematch.
That's a tough one. I kind of want to say Joanna.
Do you know what freaks me out?
What?
Pat Barry and Rose as a couple. It's like some twink sort of stuff going on.
Yeah, like
Pat Barry's a lovable guy, amazing. Rose is amazing as well, but that relationship kind of freaks me out.
The two of them are quite weird, don't they?
Basically, if he's on top, she's fucked.
A wee baldy head.
But yeah, like that's a good fight. That's a good fight.
I think Joanna just thought she was going to get out grappled and just forgot about the striking, and that's where Rose has obviously caught her. She
didn't, like you say, I don't think she expected to get struck like the way she did, because I think most of Rose's game is like maybe a jab right. Yeah. She works off her 1-2 a lot when people step in, and obviously Joanna, like she the way she works is she's like comes forward and that's it. So that was just one of these things.
I think Joanna's got to take this one. I don't think you underestimate her striking or
none of this boogie woman bullshit.
I know.
I think she got obsessed with that. Maybe she was a little bit
much. Yeah, a bit too much on it.
Who else is on that card actually? TJ is DJ. Do you know what they were saying? TJ and DJ are not fighting this year either.
The full card's great. I can't remember.
But I really want that fight to happen though. TJ and DJ.
Yeah. Has TJ got away flyweight in it?
Supposedly it's not happening now. Dana White said not. It's not happening. It's a good fight, though.
I don't think DJ really wanted it. He wanted to fight somebody else, didn't
he? He wants to fight some other person that has a fluffed up record.
Yeah, he's destroyed that flyweight division.
He's
like
legit.
Twice over.
He's so good that he's made his division like obsolete.
Yeah.
That's how good he is.
But it's up to him, and he doesn't really need to do nothing. So.
Yeah, he can fucking. He's pissing around on Twitch all day, and he doesn't have to fight ever again. So, bringing it back to, I wanted to speak about your football and like how did you? I mean, I absolutely hate football. It's not something I like.
The beautiful game.
Fuck's sake. What, golf? No, I'm joking.
You don't like golf, do you?
I'm not that white. No. Yeah, football, like that was something. I just never grew up with it because I was from a small primary school, so we didn't have football or anything like that. So it was not something that I always felt like I would have been amazing at it if I'd grew up with it, but I didn't. So I was just had like 2 left feet. So
you don't even like support a team or anything like that?
Used to be
Dundee.
No, Rangers.
Fuck's sake! Cut this, man.
My brother, he lives in Rickazy, which is like near the Easter House.
Right.
And he's a Celtic supporter.
Yeah, Celtic, good man. He's a smart man.
So every time I go to Glasgow, I get called a play nose. So, like, is that something that you could have done? Because
football wise, no, I think.
How was your sort of life plans and career panning out before you started doing MMA? What did you think you were going to do?
I wanted to be a fireman or a joiner. I know it's fucking weird, isn't it? 2 different things, but. And then I ended up falling into a job in the steelworks when I left school, just to have money and stuff like that. But I played amateur for years. Like, I was alright at amateur level. I scored a lot of goals and stuff. But I never thought I could make it to football. Never. But
what position you play?
A striker.
I know to ask that. I know that's a thing.
I was a striker, but I never thought I could make it as a footballer. It wasn't like a dream. I didn't dream of like. Well, obviously, I dream of scoring a goal for Celtic. Everybody does it as a fan, but but no,
you just love the game.
Yeah, I love the game. Plus, my team I played for was just my friends, so it was better like that way. But yeah, I wasn't like I didn't think make a career out of it or anything like that. I just enjoyed playing football.
Did you not recently get retweeted by Celtic?
Celtic, yeah.
How was that? What was it you said? Was it something to do with your last fight?
Just when I won, yeah. I've got I know a few people in Celtic that's one of the best players in the country in like Europe right now. Kieran Tierney is like my friend.
Right, okay.
And all the people that work in Celtic. I coach somebody that works in there and stuff like that.
That's cool.
I've got some small connections through Celtic, so I think that's why they retweeted that bit. So
I think you're going to pull on the jersey at some point.
If I get to the UFC, I wouldn't mind playing like a charity game. All my heroes like Henrik Larsson and that. I'm in the fucking UFC, man. Get one of these games. But I think I could score a goal at Celtic Park, no bother.
Against who?
Against all the old legends.
Not Henrik.
No, I would be up front with Henrik, obviously.
Yeah, of course, aye. You guys wouldn't be crossing swords.
Henrik, he's actually in the country right now. He was like up in North Berwick playing golf with like Scott Brown and my friend Kieran Tierney.
Is he coaching in Sweden?
He was. I don't think he is anymore. But
so
they're putting pictures up with Larson. I'm just like, this guy is a fucking king.
He's a national hero, and he's not even Scottish.
Yeah, like
where is he from?
He was legit the greatest.
Netherlands,
Sweden.
Yeah, yeah. Because like he was like when I was younger, I didn't watch football. If it was maybe when it was the national or the Euro Cup, but I knew that Henrik Larsson was like a legend.
Yeah, like a guy at that like quality and level to play in Scotland for 7 years was like a gift for us. I think that nobody will ever like follow that. He was that good. He went on to Barcelona and won the Champions League.
Yeah, because he did.
He
did well after he left Celtic. Yeah. But
so that's my screensaver.
Put it up there.
So
do you remember when he broke his leg? That was
of course.
That was like
against Leon.
I remember the picture in the newspaper, and his leg was like at a 40-degree angle.
And he came back and scored 53 goals and won the Golden Boot a year later.
But he's never talked about when people say like the best football players of all time.
Yeah.
Like I never hear him like.
Well, he is when he's in a conversation with me, my man. But, he's played with some of the best in the world. So
yeah,
he's probably the greatest. Greatest ever.
Yeah, he did
my
wonders.
First game, my Uncle John took me my first ever Celtic game in '97, and it was Celtic 3, Hearts 0, and it was a Larsson hat-trick when he had their dreadlocks and stuff like that. So I'm glad I seen all of Larsson's years, because I don't think there'll be a guy in that stature again.
No, definitely not. So probably best to finish on that, man.
Yeah, man. Finish with Henrik Larsson. That's the best way to finish. The god.
I'll cut all the football chat out. It's fine. So yeah, it's been great to have you on.
Oh man, thank you very much.
If you want to promote any of your social media,
yeah, you can follow me at Bungard on Twitter and on Instagram. Basically, just like the turtles, Bungard, like martial arts and pizza. For people who don't know, I get people coming up to me in like nightclubs and like when I'm out, Cowabunga. I'm like, no, that's not my name, but I know what you're saying.
Is that when you're in the catty?
So yeah, follow me on that. I'd like to thank my sponsors. Is that alright?
Cool, go for it. Yeah.
So my sponsors: Taste Buds, Healthy Meals, Anubis Security, Hellcat Graphics, Avosi Clothing, Bad Guy Brand, John Higgins Home Improvement, and Omar's Premier.
Cool. I've seen Hellcat. They've been putting up some T-shirts after Paul Craig one.
They make like my cage banner, and like they actually made the Bad Guy logo and the Verge logo and T-shirts and merchandise. So check them out. Get the new Paul Craig T-shirt.
What was it? Jiu-Jitsu?
Jiu-Jitsu is God.
I think that's a good note to end on.
Jiu-Jitsu is God.
Peace.